Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Making Games Out of Wood with myself, Bob Vila. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make a ring toss game. Now, what kind of ring toss game, you might ask? Mushroom ring toss game. Woohoo! Number 10, big winner. I'm Bob Vila. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget one key safety feature. Safety glasses. Now, where are those at? Where did I put those? Well, there's the saw. There's some screws, pieces of wood. Oh, there they are. On my bald head. I'm Bob Vila. Making games out of wood. All right, now on to the next step of making our ring toss game. Now, I'm going to be using a piece of wood that measures 1 inch by 1 inch. And I'm going to be cutting it down into mushroom stems that measure about 3 inches. Now, as Bob Vila, I believe in safety first. Safety is the key to using electric saws, hand saws, any kind of power tool. So, you see how I have the miter saw set up on 2 pieces of wood? Not the safest thing in the world. But we're just going to ballpark it, we're just rolling with it. I'm Bob Vila. Now then, on to the next step of making our ring toss game. Now, I'm going to be using a piece of wood that measures 1 inch by 1 inch. And I'm going to be cutting it down into essentially what is going to be mushroom stems at 3 inches. Now, as Bob Vila, I believe in safety first. Safety is the key to using electric saws or any kind of power tool or hand tool in general. Now, you see how I have the miter saw set up? Not the safest thing in the world. But we're just going to ballpark it, We're just going to roll with it because I'm Bob Vila. Don't cut your fingers off! On to the third step of making our ring toss game. Now, I'm going to be using these 1x1 pieces of wood that I cut 4 inches. We're just ballparking it. I'm just, 3 inches was a little too small. That's what I thought. Bob Vila, he makes mistakes all the time. Now, I'd like to think I know what I'm doing. Half the time I don't. That's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a layout of where I want the ring toss mushrooms to be. And then I'm going to pre-drill through the base. That way I could screw through the other side of the base into essentially what is a mushroom stem at 4 inches. Because you know what? 3 inches was not long enough. I'm Bob Vila. So what you do is you take your pieces of wood, 1x1, 4 inches long, and you just go around it, You don't even have to go all the way around it. You don't want to, but you go around it, set it aside. Go around the next one with your marker. Set it aside. Go around the third one. Throw it out a squirrel. Go around this one. Set it aside. Go around that one. Throw it at another squirrel. Go around this one. There you go. Now that I have a good layout for the mushroom stems on the base, I'm going to pre-drill holes through the base. That way I could screw through the backside of the base. We're just going to ballpark it, Like we'll put this hole right here. And we'll put this hole right here. We're just going with it. Just making a game out of wood. That's all it takes. Pre-drill. I'm Bob Vila. Now, using your chuck, I'm going to switch from drill bit to this rusted screwdriver tip. something like that. Open it up. Put the rusted screwdriver tip in there. Use your chuck. Ow, tighten it down. You're good to go. I'm Bob Vila. For the mushroom stems, I'm going to be using 1¼ drywall screws because our hardware store did not even have short enough wood screws, so we're using drywall screws. A little bit of glue, wood glue. You don't need to use a lot, we're just ballparking it. I don't know why I even have these on anymore. Safety first. So what you do, you take your drill, your rusted tip. Wait, I forgot the glue. You take your glue, just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. Gotta act like you know what you're doing. Check the glue, see why it's not flowing. Check it again. Looks like we got a little bit of a blockage. You know what? I'm Bob Vila. Let's try this again. Now that I got the glue unblocked, let's try this again. All right? I don't know why I got such a deep voice all of a sudden. I'm Bob Vila. Just put a little bit of glue. Almost goes a long ways. Take your piece of wood. You take your drywall screw because our hardware store sucks. Safety first. Oh my! Just put the drywall screw in the back of the base by hand. Whatever works. Hold the stem on one side. Very, very safe. And there you go. I'm Bob Vila. And there you have it. There is 6 mushroom stems for our ring toss game. Now then, the board, the baseboard, the base, that's a board that's made out of wood. It's a little rough, so we're gonna use a sander, clean it up a little bit before we move on to the next step. Now you wanna hold your sander as very flat as possible. The edges a little bit, all the edges, so they're very sharp. You can get a splinter. I'm Bob Vila. Now on to spray painting. I'm going to be using a green for the base, because green grass, mushrooms, it just kind of makes sense. I don't have any brown, so we're going to go with green. I'm Bob Vila. And you don't have to be an artist to do this kind of stuff, or you just go to town. You just ballpark it, You make sure you cover the entire base, so that way no one can tell it's a piece of wood. Oh man, we're gonna be here all day. wearing a face mask. Not like we haven't been doing that all year. Go on the inside. No, just ballpark it. Just try to get some of that base covered in what I'm using, green. Oh man, this is some smelly stuff, let me tell you. And there we go. A green base for our ring toss game. I'm Bob Vila. Now after you got the base all green, we're going to be using white for the stems of the mushrooms. White stems, red mushrooms. Makes sense, right? I'm Bob Vila. So you just go along, you coat them, you know, you coat them with some white. Doesn't have to be perfect, you're just ballparking it. White. Now then, on to the last step of the building of the mushroom ring toss game. Made out of wood, you know, games made out of wood. So what you do is you take your mushroom tops that are actually plastic red bowls, thank you Alicia, and you screw them onto the stems. Pretty simple, right? I'm Bob Vila. You take your rusted screw tip, your 1.25" drywall screws, and you just wing it. You know, you just go with it. You ballpark it. Well, I'm not a professional. I'm just making this stuff up as I go. You take number 10. This is number 10. Remember that? Oh, big winner. You can punch it through the plastic bowl, put it on the stem, something like that, right? Something like that. Take number 5. Punch it through the bowl. Something like that. And then you move on to the remaining mushroom stems. Thank you for watching How to Make Games Out of Wood with Bob Vila.